All right, joining me now, another member of the Democratic House. He's in leadership. He also sits on two congressional committees investigating President Trump, Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, a member of both Judiciary and Oversight Committee, also a law professor in his previous life before Congress, has thought a lot about the sort of theorizing all of this. Let me start with this, because you're in leadership. There was reporting.
Chris,
yes.
Can I answer also the last question you just posed to Jackie?
Happily.
I think, well, she did a great job with it, and so did Sheila Jackson-Lee. But I think there is a false premise in a lot of these questions. We're not co-equal branches. Article 1 gives the sovereign power of the people to Congress. We are the legislative branch. We're the lawmaking branch. And the core job of the president is to take care that our laws are faithfully executed. And so not thwarted, not circumvented, not denied, and not violated. And so Congress, what you're seeing this week is the Congress standing up and reasserting its preeminence in our constitutional design. It's a magnificent thing to watch.
But you sound like Thaddeus Stevens, although you don't have his supermajorities.
Well, some of my colleagues from Pennsylvania, like Madeline Dean and Mary Gay Scanlon, are sounding more and more like Thaddeus Stevens every day. So, there are some very special people emerging in this process as we are speaking up for America against the lawlessness of a president. The framers wanted to prevent our president from becoming a king. And by the way, the foremost thing in their mind was they didn't want a president able to go out and plunge us into foreign wars without a declaration by Congress, which is why we have the exclusive and sole power to declare war. That's something we've got to be talking about this week as the warmongers surrounding the president try to drive us towards combat without consulting Congress at all. We're not going to accept that.
It's just one area in which the executive has sort of expressed their the lack of need for your assent or authority. But let me ask you about the sort of current status right now. There's a reporting about a meeting among the caucus and leadership that got sort of fraught or, just contentious in the sense that people have different points of views about formally beginning an impeachment inquiry. Do you support formally beginning an impeachment inquiry?
I have spoken up for that, and I think there's a very compelling logic for it because we have overwhelming evidence of high crimes and misdemeanors that has been delineated in Special Counsel Mueller's report, and all of the obstructionism that he wrote about came galloping off the pages and right into our offices in the hallways of Congress when President Trump essentially ordered every member of the executive branch to stop cooperating with congressional subpoenas, demands for testimony, requests for documents, and so on. I mean, that's absolutely unprecedented defiance and obstruction of Congress, and their whole branch is in contempt of Congress at this point. So, I think that look, the members of the Judiciary Committee, not everyone, but I think overwhelmingly the members of the Judiciary Committee are there because we've been living and breathing this 24/7. But we're a collective body, Chris. We operate as a team sport, and so we have a real job to do to educate our colleagues about why we are where we are.
This is slightly technical, but I think important actually for understanding of the next step. So, your understanding, people say a formal inquiry of impeachment or formal impeachment proceedings. What is your understanding of how that cashes out, what it means? Is it what Sheila Jackson-Lee means, which is a resolution the majority votes on? Is it what Jackie Spear just suggested, which is the Judiciary Committee could just initiate it itself, or something else?
Well, there have been tons of impeachment resolutions over the course of American history, not just against presidents, but also against judges and other officials, and they can be fashioned in different ways. I would say the best way for it to be fashioned is for it to be an actual formal resolution on the House floor that gets referred to the Judiciary Committee. And nobody on the Judiciary Committee is saying we should just go ahead and, like a runaway train, do our own thing and then send it to the floor. That's not how we operate. Look, people want to operate like that. They go run for president, okay? We believe in this as a team sport, and we're working collectively. And all this press about how there's divisions and polarization and fighting, it's nonsense. We're having discussions. Somehow members of your profession have done a great job of getting information about what's going on behind closed doors, and then they blow it up into some big drama. We talk, and that's how we make progress. But I'm telling you, the Article 1 branch has made some substantial progress this week. We're taking every tool in the constitutional toolkit, and we're putting it on the table. And one of them is the possibility of launching an impeachment inquiry.
All right, Congressman Jamie Raskin, thank you very much.